This is called a frame for the beehive, and this is wax foundation, and the bees will build their whole comb off of this in a straight line. Because this is straight already, they'll follow this pattern.
He supervises.
Okay, I'm going to make them happy. I'm giving them a task to do. They're going to start eating the sugar and passing it to each other instead of worrying that I opened the thing up. Well, the queen can live up to 5 years as opposed to 5 weeks. A worker bee lives 5 weeks, and she goes through every job in the whole colony. From the time she's born, she starts feeding other babies, and then she starts feeding the queen and cleaning males and cleaning the queen, and all these jobs rotate until finally she's a forager and she collects nectar and pollen.
What is that?
And then she eventually dies as a forager. So her life cycle is short, and the only difference between making a queen and a worker is the queen larvae is fed royal jelly. And that makes her live 5 years.
How many workers are in the hive?
During the height of the summer, a strong hive with about 2 or 3 of these deeps, about 60,000 bees.
And one queen?
One queen and about 1,000 males. Hello? It's me.
They're flying off.
Nope. Just trying to get them off. I'll do it.
They're not as well behaved as the other hive.
Yeah.
They're like, let me in. As soon as I let her in, out. Much better.
Is she out?
Almost.
Okay. Yeah, she's coming
Alright,
out.
we should back up because the bees are swarming a bit.
There
She goes.
You guys still see her?
Yep.
She stayed in?
Yep.
This is a deep.
And where's the hive?
A hive is like, you could call this whole thing, the whole setup, a hive, but it's also a colony. It could be called 2 things. The colony refers more to the life of it, and the hive is referring to the architecture, the structure of it. You give them plenty of smoke so they feel like there's a forest fire, and they start to gorge their stomachs with honey, and just in case they have to move if the fire gets too bad. And also it'll mask the smell of any alarms that they put off that says something's breaking into the hive. Good. Another. And one more. Beautiful. Even if they land on you, don't be scared. Even if they land on you, they're not interested in stinging, they're interested in exploring what's happening. It's not like a wasp. A wasp is very threatening and dangerous. These are gentle. Right now they want to do work for the queen. It's only partly developed. If you might be able to catch it on the side, it's got some bulging to it. But the thin stuff at the bottom is what we put in there the other day. And the reason you do that is to help them develop a nice straight pattern, and they'll develop a whole thing across just because this is a starter. Okay, Mears, this is a frame, and they've been building that hive, that comb, and so far they're just storing pollen in there. See those little sacks of pollen? You can tell it's pollen because they're not going to cap it. They fill it and they use it as they need it. once that cell is full, they cap it with a wax cap to keep it fresh. So this is a brood chamber, which means the queen has laid eggs here. You could tell because it's not a flat wax cap, it's a dome cap. That means there's babies growing in there. And then in between them, you see the glossiness? That's honey. It's nectar being accumulated. Yes. Okay. So now we're going right into the heart of the hive, which means we might find the queen. We've got to be very careful because this is where most of the bees are going to be.
Whoa.
Taking a quick look for the queen. Most of this is honey and pollen, and all the center. Nearby, look. See the little like larvae things, the worms in the middle? Once they grow up a little bit, after they get fed a diet of nectar, then they get capped like that. And when they're capped, they become pupae. And the pupae develop into bees that hatch.
That's got pollen on the back legs, and that's got honey on it.
What I'm discovering so far about this hive is it's eating honey as fast as it collects it. Because nothing is capped. It's making honey, but they're also eating honey every day. So once we start feeding them this bee sugar, and once they start collecting more nectar, because it's been so rainy, it's hard to collect nectar during the rain, then they'll have an abundance, and they'll have extra, and they'll start capping the extra. I have it. Under. Perfect. Don't be scared. Look at them, see what they're up to.
Mom. Alright.
You overcame your fear. This one might have capped honey. We'll take a look because this is fun. They're very gentle today. Isn't it cool how close you can get your fingers to them and they don't even care? That's some pretty fat comb. Really deep. Look how deep that comb is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It might be that she's mostly going to lay. Oh, I see babies. She's mostly going to lay drones in there because the male drone is big. The fact that there's fresh eggs in here means the queen is alive and the colony is healthy. And that was the heart. We just went through the heart of this colony. Like that was the most development. As I look on the edges, it's not developed.
Right.
How could a bug be so cool? Now we take a hot uncapping knife that's plugged in and just peel all of the caps off. Watch your pinky.
It's a very hot knife. Oh, it's really hot. And there's the honey underneath. It's beautiful.